functioning, okay, which is a set of cognitive abilities that are responsible for certain actions such as planning, initiating, and monitoring one's actions. And these abilities include working your memory, your cognitive flexibility, and inhibitory control, okay, in case you didn't know that. Now, working memory is the ability to hold information in mind for a very short period of time, which is essential. It's essential for planning and initiating actions. Now, cognitive flexibility is the ability to adapt to changing situations, that's a part of life, and think about problems in different ways, which is essential for problem solving and decision making. Okay, try to remember that. Problem solving and decision making. Now, inhibitory control is the ability to resist temptations and distractions, which is essential for what? Self-discipline. Now, let's talk about the physiological aspect of self-discipline. Now, self-discipline is closely related to self-regulation, okay? Remember what we said about self-regulation. It is the ability to control one's thoughts, emotions, and actions. And when we have self-discipline, we're able to set goals, make plans, and take action towards achieving our goals. So now, here's a little bit more about self-regulation, okay? Self-regulation is closely related to the prefrontal cortex. We touched on that in chapter 1, which is the part of the brain that is responsible for executive functioning. Executive functioning. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for planning, remember, initiating, and monitoring one's actions. And it is also responsible for regulating your emotions and your impulses. Now, in addition to the prefrontal cortex, okay, self-regulation is also closely related to the anterior cortex and the insula. The anterior cortex is responsible for conflict resolution, which is essential for self-discipline. The insula, INSULA, is responsible for interception, which, if you don't know what that is the ability to sense the internal state of the body, such as, let me give you an example, such as hunger, thirst, and fatigue. Now, let me tell you, research has shown that self-discipline is closely related to the activity of the prefrontal cortex, the anterior cortex, and the insula. Now, when these areas of the brain are activated, we are more likely to be self-disciplined and to make better choices or good choices and decisions. Now, self-discipline is related to both, like we said, psychological and physiological aspects. And on the psychological side of this, self-discipline is related to self-regulation, as we said, and executive functioning. Okay, so keep that in mind. Self-discipline, self-regulation, executive functioning. And executive functioning, which are cognitive abilities that allow us to set our goals, make plans, and take action toward achieving our goals. I just want you guys to remember, and I want to reiterate that the physiological side, okay, of self-discipline, I'm getting talked about, is related to the activity of your prefrontal cortex, okay, the anterior cortex and the insula, which are the parts of the brain that are responsible for self-regulation and decision making, okay. It's also important to note that self-discipline can be trained and strengthened. Okay, I just want to reiterate that too, just like a muscle, okay? And I don't think that we're, that removed from it when people have said, I've heard people say that your brain is a muscle and it must be used as a muscle. And if you don't use it, basically you lose it, right? Okay. So it says here, by consistently practicing self-discipline, we can improve our executive functioning and self-regulation abilities, which in turn can help us to achieve the goals that we want and to actually get the life that we actually are desiring. Okay. So I want to share some more about the research that is out there. It says research has shown that practicing self-discipline can lead to a variety of benefits, such as improved academic performance, better health outcomes, and greater life satisfaction. And who doesn't need more of that, right? So, for example, students, who have higher levels of self-discipline tend to have better grades and test scores than those who have lower levels, of self-discipline. Additionally, people who have higher levels of self-discipline tend to have better physical outcomes. They have lower blood pressure. They have lower body mass index. They have lower cholesterol levels. They also tend to have better mental health outcomes, which means lower levels of stress and anxiety. It is also important, and I want to stress this, it's important to note that self-discipline is not the same as self-control. Let me say it again. That self-discipline is not the same as self-control. Self-control, what is it? It's the ability to resist temptations and distractions, while self-discipline on the other end of the spectrum is the ability to set the goals, to make the plans, and take actions toward achieving your goals. Now, both self-control and self-discipline are important for this communal, they're coming together like a little marriage there for achieving your goals. But they are different abilities. Now, self-control is more about resisting, temptations, while self-discipline is more about taking action, toward the goals that we're talking about, whatever it is that your goals are. And as we delve deeper into the psychological and physiological aspects of self-discipline, it's important to note that it has been studied extensively by many researchers and scientists. And studies have shown that self-discipline is a complex phenomena that is influenced by a variety of factors, including genetics, environment, and personal experiences. And when we meet again, we will continue this conversation about those things: genetics, environment, and personal experiences. Unleash your potential with power of self-discipline. About the author. Patricia Davis is the author of Discipline for Success, Harnessing the Power of Self-Control. She is a renowned life coach, motivational speaker, and yoga instructor. She will guide you on a transformative journey to cultivate discipline and unlock the door to personal and professional success. Drawing from over 15 years of experience in life coaching and Eastern spiritual practices, Patricia presents an inspiring blend of science, spirituality, and personal development. This book will empower you to break free from the barriers that limit your potential and provide practical and actionable steps to instill discipline in every aspect of your life. Buy today on Amazon or wherever books are sold. Ever inspired by the people and passions of the community it calls home, the University of Louisville is committed to opening wide the doors of opportunity, pursuing knowledge and innovation to build a stronger tomorrow, and empowering a bold new generation of leaders, one every bit as ambitious as it is diverse. Together, Cardinals are helping a better world take flight here and beyond. Discover more at louisville.edu. You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. We invite you to stay connected with us on the other social media platforms of ours, which is TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Also, we'd like to invite you to check out our official podcast landing page on podpage.com/Teachable Moments with April to see all our content in one place and leave personal messages, feedback, and more.